On September 19, 1979, Marie Hilley rushed to the University of Alabama Hospital in Birmingham. Her 19-year-old daughter, Carol, was very sick. For the past 5 months, she'd suffered severe vomiting, stomach cramps, a deteriorating nervous system, and paralysis in her legs. Her hands became clawed and nearly useless. Marie, a widow who doted on her only daughter, was frantic to find a cure for Carol's grave illness.
Gonna be able to hold anything down?
Yeah.
Good.
After months of shuttling Carol from doctor to doctor, seldom leaving her bedside, Marie was at the end of her rope. Doctors told her that Carol might have a virus or some other condition, but she'd yet to get a clear diagnosis about what was crippling her daughter. Carol's illness was taking its toll on Marie as well.
Marie Hilley.
I'm Marie Hilley.
On Carol's first day at the University of Alabama Hospital, a
Nice to meet you.
plainclothes police officer came looking for Marie.
Yes, what can I do for you?
He asked if he could speak to her in
Tell you
private.
the truth, I don't really want to talk to you about right here.
Be right back, Carol.
Carol's mounting medical bills were wreaking havoc with Marie's finances. A bank and a furniture store in nearby Anniston filed complaints against her for passing bad checks. The officer served Marie with an arrest warrant. He was taking her to jail. Not wanting to alarm her daughter, Marie made up a story about why she had to leave. Carol had no knowledge of her mom's arrest. The next day, when Carol couldn't reach her mother, she called her Aunt Frida, who came to see her and tell her about Marie. Frida had news for the doctors, too, expressing her concern about Marie's care of Carol. She said that Marie moved Carol from hospital to hospital before the young woman could be properly diagnosed. She also claimed to have witnessed Marie giving Carol shots. She feared that Marie's desperate attempts to heal her daughter were only making her more ill. This possibility made Carol's doctor rethink his diagnosis. Perhaps her illness was caused by a toxin rather than a virus. He realized her symptoms were consistent with heavy metal poisoning, most commonly arsenic. Often called the great imitator, arsenic routinely escapes early diagnosis, masquerading as food poisoning or the flu. The misjudgment could be fatal, according to forensic toxicologist Chip Walls, now lab director at the University of Miami School of Medicine.
In many cases, the chronic poisoning with arsenic has been missed at the early stages, and the person either goes on and either gets better or dies from the chronic poisoning.
Hi, Miss Hilley. We're going to take a nail sample.
But once it's suspected, long-term arsenic poisoning is easy to diagnose. Carol's fingernails displayed the broad white lines called Mees lines that signal the presence of arsenic in the bloodstream for longer than 6 weeks. Following up on this crucial discovery, nail and hair samples were sent to the lab to determine the extent of her poisoning. That would help determine the source of her exposure and how long she'd been exposed. The samples are carefully weighed before they're put into what's called a digesting flask. Nitric and sulfuric acid are mixed with the sample and heated. The digested sample is then ready to be analyzed. Early readings showed high levels of the poison in Carol's samples, but it would take weeks to get more detailed results. Because arsenic is found in nature and is a common ingredient in pesticides, her exposure could have been accidental. But not everyone believed that.
Serum